made this buffer music for us. So that's it. That's the buffer music for the BS show. We're live.
Yeah.
We got a big show Friday. We're going to have people in the audience. I think we got target about 20, 25 people in the audience. So if you are interested in being in the audience on Friday on the live show, get a hold of Brad or I. We'll get you in the audience for the live show. We're not going to be in our little studio that we got going on right now. We got a bigger area. We're going to put 20, 25 people in there and have a live show.
There you go.
So live on the internet and everywhere.
What could go wrong?
What could go wrong? We may even have a second camera just for the audience, but I'm not promising that. Oh, well. So football was over, and then it's back.
It's back. Looks like it's going to be pretty good, too.
The AAF, American Alliance of Football, I was impressed.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, the question about are they still going to have stupid targeting penalties, that's answered.
That was answered big time, yeah.
If you would have touched Tom Brady or Cam Newton or Peyton Manning the way that quarterback for San Antonio got hit, you may not ever see that person play football again.
Yeah. That was like some
that was old
80s,
school stuff.
90s football, yeah.
You remember the old thing on ESPN? You just got jacked up. That was a jacked up moment.
That was definitely. He hopped right up. But
he hopped right up.
He took a
There's
shot.
no way he knew where he was when he got up, though.
No.
Have you ever seen a football helmet fly as far as that football helmet flew?
No. It went.
It went
right off.
It went 20 yards.
Yeah.
I mean, he's lucky his whole head didn't come out with the football helmet.
Right, absolutely. And all of his chins, because there for a while
they were leaving.
they would only do but all four of his were snap and still snap.
That's the amazing thing is it flew off his head like that, all snapped up.
Yeah. So it stings on the ears and everything.
I mean,
bad enough when you can pull it apart and take your helmet off.
I'm telling you, that was a football hit right there.
It was. That's what people watch the game for.
That's what people watch the game for. And I don't know what the association is with the NFL and the AAF. I mean, there's got to be some kind of association because it's on NFL Network. Mm-hmm. It's got all these guys from the NFL. Bill Polian, the guy who built the Colts. Mm-hmm. He's the head of it, the co-founder. Let's just go through the names that are associated with this. You got Mike Singletary,
Spurrier,
some
players,
Trent Richardson, the old running back for Alabama. You got, if you're a Titans fan, Zach Mettenberger as quarterback for Memphis. Now he's the backup to Hackenberg, but Mettenberger comes in after the game's pretty much already decided. And the very first pass he throws is an interception on a screen pass.
Right.
I mean, terrible.
Yeah, that's why he's not with the Titans.
But this league, these guys only got not going to like the no kickoff. I like the excitement of possibly getting a kickoff return for a touchdown.
Yeah.
And there's no excitement for that because there's play call needs to stay the same or anything like that. Some of the stuff with this football league just makes sense.
Right.
It's good stuff. And the NFL may need to look into some of this. Especially the hits.
Well, and one negative to not having the special teams is you take out a lot of players. There's some people that are only take that out, you're taking away a lot of players' chances to be on the field. So, but as far as the game itself, if they were to take it out, I wouldn't be too upset.
Well, the thing is, what if this is just a straight up developmental league like the NFL?
And that's what I think. I think that's what it's going to be. The association with the NFL. You have a lot of the names from the NFL, so. It's obviously, and it's on the NFL Network. So if it does good, they'll start sticking their hands in there and regulating it.
And most of these players have played for the league.
Oh yeah.
And they just didn't work, or they weren't mature enough. Hackenberg's only like 23 years old still. Mm-hmm. He was a first-round draft pick.
Yeah. Well, and if I'm not mistaken, some of them are non-starters.
Oh, and still on the roster.
Actually on the roster.
Okay, well that's
like NFL Europe.
So that's just like NFL Europe.
Yeah. Just farming, getting yourself a little.
I know as a Tennessee fan, this sounds terrible, but it's the very first thing I thought of when I watched Memphis play. You're going through this roster lineup of all these ex-UT Vols that are playing in this league, and you're going, well, no wonder this team sucks. For them to all these players that played for Dooley or Butch, and then you watch them play against and they played the Alabama team. Yeah. So it's like all these Tennessee players against all these old Alabama players, and you're going, well, it's the same result. They still suck.
They remember the old playbooks.
So I guess all of Butch's bricks that he was building that foundation with, they're over in this developmental league over in Memphis.
Right, absolutely.
So I mean, but it is kind of neat. You got San Antonio's playing in the Alamo Dome. You can't talk about how long San Antonio's wanted an NFL team.
Right.
Now they've got a pro team. They probably had a USFL team before. I don't
Probably.
And an XFL team. And then you've got Birmingham and Memphis, who both really wanted NFL teams. They both had USFL teams. And so you're seeing the Liberty Bowl and Legion Field, and you're seeing these historic stadiums playing football again in them.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool.
Right. And who knows if it does good. I mean, they're going to add 2 or 3 teams a season, but they may add a couple.
Right.
You know.
I mean, what if it was like AAA baseball and every NFL team had a AAF team,
Yeah.
farm team?
That could definitely happen.
That could definitely
big
happen.
time.
You have 32 teams and just farm them out. And so the Memphis team could be the Titans AAF team. The Atlanta team could be the Falcons AAF team.
Right.
The San Antonio team could be, let's see, Dallas is probably closer than Houston.
Probably, yeah.
So it could be a really cool thing, and you could bring players up and down just like they do in AAA baseball.
It's just 25 years too late.
Just
I could've
25
done
years
this,
too
you know?
late. I mean, they're doing tryouts. You can go out. They said there's a 50-year-old playing in the league.
I'm sure he's in good shape too.
I mean, I thought this was really cool. The quality of the football, but with only having some of these guys haven't played in years.
Right.
So for them to walk on a football field in 30 days and actually play competitive football is actually pretty impressive.
Oh yeah, it is.
And Trent
It should be
Richardson,
fun.
I know Trent Richardson went to the CFL after he left the NFL. That guy is still a beast. I mean, I was watching him run the football yesterday, and he was carrying people yards.
Right.
I mean, digging his feet. And I mean, if you ever played ball and ran the ball, you were always told just keep moving them feet, keep chopping.
Yeah.
And
No doubt.
sometimes you would keep chopping, and you'd have 2 or 3 guys on your back. You just take off, and sometimes you just keep chopped right into the ground.
Right.
But Trent Richardson still chops them. And watching him run, but they
to either maybe get back, which might be too late for him, but you know, to show that I never lost it.
Yeah, I still got it.
Yeah, or just knowing it's his last chance.
And when he was in the CFL, I mean, I think he led the CFL in rushing yards, or it was top 3.
So. Yeah.
So he's a good back. Whatever happened to him I think he played the Colts and the Browns. Is that all he played for?
Yeah, as far as I know, yeah.
Whatever happened to him in the NFL, maybe he's got by it. Maybe it's time for him to run the rock in the NFL again.
Maybe. You never know.
But I'll tell you what, it's great to see Steve Spurrier, the old ball coach, on the sideline.
All passionate.
I mean, it was like
cool.
It was old school Spurrier.
Yeah.
And he was running the fun and gun. It was like watching Florida from the 90s.
Right. Very cool.
But the question you got to ask is, why isn't Kaepernick on one of these teams? He can't make an NFL roster. Is it that they don't want the attention?
I would think. I mean, because he, ability-wise, I'll
has
see
the
how
skills.
you go for. Yeah, he's definitely a gifted athlete.
To be clear, he was a third-string quarterback that couldn't get on the field when he started all the stupid anthem protests. So he wasn't a starter in the NFL. So he actually falls into this category of AFL. I mean, a guy that can't get on the field, can't make an NFL roster. He could go get on the field in the AAF.
Right. Oh, he could. Yeah. He definitely.
And Tebow was asked to play for the Orlando
focus,
team, for the Spurrier team.
Yeah.
Can you imagine Tim Tebow and Spurrier's system?
That would be good. His
body
body hadn't had that wear and tear.
Right.
A lot of these have,
and
you know?
his answer was, I just want to play baseball. So he just, I mean, whatever.
Yeah.
But Spurrier back in the league, I mean, it's good football.
Yeah. And the more names that come and stay,
right.
You know, it should. I think it'll be legitimate. You know.
Just remember, it took the USFL a couple years.
Yeah.
And then they started stealing players from the NFL.
Right. Oh yeah. And it was they got some good players.
They got some good players. Warren Moon, Steve Young, Reggie White. I mean, they had some players.
Yeah.
So maybe you got to get it off the ground first before you see anything.
I would think that the NFL would probably try to keep it
under wraps.
Yeah, or below them as far as the skill level. But you never know. I mean, if they can make money off of it, that's the name of the game.
And then next year you got the XFL coming in, and does Vince McMahon try to make it like the professional wrestling of football again,
right?
Or does he actually try to make it a legitimate league? And the one interesting thing that I heard about the XFL is they're not going to pay attention to this. You have to be an upperclassman in college to come play in the XFL. If you're coming out of high school and you're skilled enough to go play pro ball, they're going to sign you.
Really?
If you're a freshman phenom and you want to go play pro ball, the XFL is going to draft you. it only takes a couple of those guys that are phenoms to go show out in the XFL for the NFL to go, you know what, we may need to rethink this rule.
Oh, yeah. What is it, 2 years out of high school?
3 years out of high school.
Okay. Okay.
So you start stealing a couple of these guys. I mean, let's say Tua Tagovailoa, the Alabama quarterback,
Mm-hmm.
and the XFL just says last year, all right, we're taking him, or after this year. How much does that change things?
Or knowing that he could go.
He could go.
That could change a lot.
That could change a lot. And so look for that. If they try to make the XFL a legitimate league and they start stealing some of these underclassmen instead of letting them go 4 years, the NFL may get put on watch.
Oh, yeah.
Because they've already said they're not going to have all that targeting bull crap.
Right. Oh, and you see some of these college guys, I mean, going into the XFL doing the Tarzan yell.
Yeah.
I'm coming, you know.
I'm coming.
Yeah.
If
Scary.
they're not doing the targeting stuff, they've already said all their players will stand for the national anthem, and they're taking underclassmen. The XFL could work.
And I think I saw that documentary about the XFL, and it looks like he wanted to make a legitimate league. It's just that, you know, it was a conflict
What
between.
about WFL? Do you guys know anything about that?
The World
The
Football League,
women's.
the Lingerie League.
No. Oh my gosh.
No, there is a Lingerie League.
I know.
And they play hard. That's some rough football.
Oh, yeah.
Man, they're out for blood.
Well, you figure they're only wearing like miniature shoulder pads,
Right.
and they wear a helmet, but it's not like a men's helmet. They don't wear any core support, and they don't wear any leg pads,
Right.
but they hit.
They hit hard.
Whatever they're called, like what the National Cats played in.
Yeah.
The electrify again. I love kickoff returns, and when that net is live, whether it's a kick or a pass or
Yeah.
anything, and it hits that net, and it's a live ball.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that's fun to watch. So that's it. And Kurt Warner is involved with this AF too. Speaking of an Arena League guy.
Yeah, I mean, he should be supportive of something like that.
I mean,
you know,
you think about Kurt Warner. He didn't. He was not a starter in college.
Yeah.
He got cut by the Broncos when he came out of college. He went to the Arena League. Was just the best Arena League quarterback ever. Comes back to the NFL. Tears the NFL apart.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, revolutionary
Yeah.
offense.
Won a Super Bowl.
Won a Super Bowl, lost a Super Bowl to the Patriots after the Tuck Rule game. And so it's always goes back to the Raiders.
Right. It was a fumble.
And so you've got Kurt Warner, he's the only person in the Arena League Hall of Fame and the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
And the first quarterback to start a Super Bowl with two different teams. First one, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, because the Cardinals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, Manning did it. Warner was the first.
And in all honesty, he should have won that Super Bowl too.
Yeah.
He really should have 3 Super Bowl rings. If it wasn't for James Harrison and that like rumbling, fumbling, tumbling interception return.
Yeah.
Was it a 2-point conversion or an interception at the end of that game?
I think it was interception.
It was something.
I don't know. It might have been interception.
Yeah, but
I
man,
can't remember distinctly, but
whatever.
I slept.
All right, MTSU basketball, they lost a heartbreaker to Old Dominion, who's the number 1 team in the league right now. So, I mean, they've beat 3 number 1 teams at those given times. They just lost a heartbreaker at Old Dominion. I still think they're playing the best basketball at the right time of year.
Oh, yeah.
Even if they don't sneak in this year, I think McDermott's going to build on them. I'm glad to see them fighting because, I mean, at first you're just going, man, they're just getting beat. It's just ugly.
Yeah.
They're fighting, so that's good stuff.
And not only spring air coming up soon, all the allergies making an appearance, all the allergy medicine, blue top, green top. Got a big decision to make this year whether or not you're going to buy a house. Feel free to give us a call. We can help out. It might not be the right time, but we have a lot of people here that can talk you through it, answer any questions you have. So feel free to give us a call here at Century 21 Right Realty, 615-895-9710. We'll be glad to hear from you.
Yeah, and selling your house even. If you're hesitant, you're going, man, I really want to sell my house and buy up, but I don't know. Maybe I've got to do all this work. Maybe I don't. Have us come out and look at your house and say, okay, yeah, you really do need to do this work. Right. Or no, leave your house just as is. It'll sell just like it is.
Yeah, you'd be surprised.
You'd be surprised. And some of the repairs may just be, hey, just freshen it up, put some mulch out, maybe touch the paint up. I know I've seen this a lot lately is people trying to sell houses in neighborhoods where there's still new construction. That's a hard thing because you got to be under those comps because the average person will always want to buy a new house over a used house. So, but we'll give you advice on that as well. So just food for thought. UT should be number 1 in the basketball polls. I tell you what, the women took it on the chin yesterday. It was a close game, and they ended up getting beat by like 40 points.
Yeah, I don't know.
Holly Warlick is on her last legs. She needs to do the right thing and just resign. I know she's a former player. I know Fulmer is going to have a hard time firing a former player because he was in that same situation. But it's hard to follow up a legend. If she's following up Pat Summitt, you can't get more legend than that.
Yeah, not at all.
But she needs to bow out gracefully and just move along. Go.
Truly nothing to see here.
Yeah, nothing to see here. Go away. All right, so I got a little rant. I'm not going to rant about Murfreesboro today. I'm going to rant about these morons that shut 24 down over the weekend to do donuts in this whatever they were doing. I don't know if they thought they were Dominic Toretto and Brian O'Connor or what was going on, but I mean, they're fast. All the people in traffic are furious.
Right.
And it wasn't good for anybody. And you hear the police are coming. Oh, crap, the police are coming. You just shut down a major interstate to do donuts.
Right.
Get out of the way. Stop getting in the way of people's things. If you want to go drag race or something, go on 840 like everybody else.
Right. Or the road to the old Nashville Super Speedway.
Yeah, or the road
That's
to
a long
it's just a
straightaway.
long straightaway. Yeah. I mean, go somewhere that you're not interfering with a bunch of people.
It is total self-centered because these people are on the interstate for a reason.
Yeah.
It's not out joyriding.
No.
So
I mean, they're lucky
especially
they didn't get shot.
I know. You are right.
I mean, and
you don't know, a few cars deep, you don't know what's going on up there.
And what is it going to take? What would it have taken? I mean, did they just slam on their brakes? All of it. Oh, we're going to stop right now. And what about all the cars behind? I mean, they're lucky they didn't get rear-ended trying to do it.
That could have been ugly.
I mean, but you look. I mean, that traffic was backed up for way back.
Yeah.
That was not just a thing that happened for a short amount of time. They were there for a minute.
Yeah. Oh, and you could see the marks like they've been doing it before.
Yeah.
They started filming.
So, but just go out on 840. There's nobody there unless your whole purpose.
And nobody cares about your car. Being able to do donuts.
That's right. There's a Hellcat over there on the Dodge dealership that outrun you right now from the factory.
Right.
So.
Yeah,
get your little rice burners. You're not Brian O'Connor. You're not Dominic Toretto. You're not even those other guys that they beat all the time. You live in Nashville.
Right.
You drive a 350Z. Nobody cares.
Sounds like a stuck pig.
Go buy a real car with a V8 in it. Get out of here.
Shut up.
Or a Kia.
Yeah. I don't want to hear any of your angry Bumblebee cars.
Yeah.
Get some.
And trust me, nobody cares.
All throttle, no bottle, baby.
There you go.
All right. So you got the news you can't believe today, and I mean, I'm telling you, this is the news you can't believe.
Oh my goodness! So, where is it? Hong Kong potato chip factory. Big load of potatoes come in, and they find a World War I grenade caked in dirt and mud. So it looked just like a potato, but they had to call in the Hong Kong police.
I'll tell you what, that's
German made.
That's one pop that'll make you stop.
All right. Now, what were those? Wasn't they called potato mashers or something? Yeah. The German grenades. That's what it was. So it's kind of fitting that that's what it was.
That's the pop that makes you stop.
Right. Explosive situation. That has nothing to do with Taco Bell.
Yeah, nothing to do with Taco Bell.
So, but yeah, so they called in the police. The police took it and destroyed it. But just be careful when you're eating your. What, a South Korean or what else that was? Hong Kong potato chips.
Those aren't those Zappos, are they? Those Zappo potato chips are pretty good things.
They were Blattos.
Yeah. So, I mean, next time you open that bag of potato chips and you hear that popping sound, it might be a grenade.
You need to have your suit.
Yeah, you get that little white suit.
Yeah.
All right. I think that's the Monday edition. You got to do it. Yeah. That's the Monday edition of the BS Show. We're going to go out here and answer the comments. And we'll respond to y'all. Hopefully we got this thing fixed for the comment window by Friday. If not, it'll be next Monday. Again, thanks for Jackson Wright for our nice buffer music now. Nice that nice bass beat.
Right.
And